Everybody knows that the Rubik's Cube can have 43 quintillion, 252 quadrillion, 3 trillion, 274 billion, 489 million, 856,000 total different permutations. That number includes scrambles ranging from this one to this one. But why is that the case? If we disassemble the 3x3 Rubik's Cube, we can see that it has 6 center pieces, 12 edge pieces, and 8 corner pieces. Immediately, we can notice that the centers are fixed in place and will not affect our calculations. When we start to assemble the edge pieces, we start with 12 possible positions that we can put our first edge into. After our first edge is in the cube, our next edge has 11 possible positions that it can occupy because it cannot go into the position that our first edge went into. As we continue to fill the edge slots, the number of possible positions that we can insert an edge into diminishes by 1 for each edge that we put in the cube. That leaves us with this equation to calculate the total number of edge permutations the Rubik's Cube can have. This equation is also known as 12 factorial. By using this equation, the total number of permutations of the Rubik's Cube edges is 479,001,600. With this number, I didn't take into account that each edge can be flipped. By taking into account the edge flips, we can multiply 12 factorial by 2 to the power of 11. The reason why we do 2 to the power of 11 and not 2 to the power of 12 is because when we get to the last edge, this case is not possible. Therefore, this last edge only has one possible orientation, whereas the 11 other edges have 2. So in total, there are 980,995,276,800 possible edge cases. The corners are very similar to the edges. When assembling, we have 8 different slots that we can put our first corner into, and every time we put in a corner, the number of possible positions gets lower. With that being the case, we can represent the corner position permutations as 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, or 8 factorial. However, we need to slightly modify this equation because this corner swap case is not possible. Only the last 2 corners must be in a specific position, which means they only have one possible place that they can be. That leaves us with 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 1 times 1. Taking into account the different corner twists, it's identical to the edge flips, except there are 3 different orientations instead of 2. We can use 3 to the power of 8 to represent the number of corner orientations that we have, but we need to change it slightly. You guys probably already know this, but when it comes to the final corner, it cannot be twisted like this or like this. That means it has one possibility, leaving our equation at 3 to the power of 7 instead. That means we have 44,089,920 possible corner cases. If we multiply our possible edge cases with our possible corner cases, we end up with 43 quintillion, 252 quadrillion, 3 trillion, 274 billion, 489 million, 856,000 different Rubik's Cube scrambles. And the beauty of all these scrambles is that they can all be solved in 20 moves or less. All of them can also be solved in around 5 seconds depending on the person who gets a scramble. Man, do I love speed cubing. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably also like this video about a Rubik's Cube I bought at Goodwill.